Good evening, everyone. Heartfelt gratitude to Cochlear for giving me this opportunity. And a big congratulations and kudos to all the caretakers of children who have been diagnosed with hearing loss for putting this effort to come on this webinar. Now, we're going to discuss a very important topic that's important for your child's future and well-being, and that's cochlear implants for children. Now, as I mentioned, many of you who are attending already know a child who's been diagnosed with hearing loss. Once the diagnosis was made the very first time, you would have felt that you are all alone in this world. What would you do with your child, and what would the future be? But today, along with my colleagues here, I would like to assure you that you are not alone on this journey. There are actually 3.4 crore children around the world with disabling hearing loss. So with that kind of number, we will ensure that you are not alone. You will be guided. You will be looked after. Don't you worry. As a parent, as a professional, we all have dreams, right, for our children, irrespective of their diagnosis. These dreams begin even before your baby was born. You would want to walk hand in hand with your child. You would want to see your child excel in academics. Irrespective of the diagnosis, you want your child to have a curious mind. You also want your child to dream freely. You want your child to have a best social life and best friends. And you want them to pursue their passion, whether they have hearing loss or not. And you want to see your child become a graduate and build their career. And this list can go on and on and on. If I had to summarize all of these things in one simple word, that word would be best. We want the best for our children. And today's webinar will focus on this word. This is going to be our mantra today, BEST, B-E-S-T. Now let's see what each of these letters stands for with respect to today's webinar. Now B stands for both ears. E stands for early intervention. S stands for smart technology, and T stands for therapy. We are going to be spending a lot of time on these four letters. So let's dive in and explore one at a time. Let's begin with B. As I said, B stands for both ears. Now, most of the children who have been diagnosed with hearing loss are usually diagnosed to have hearing loss in both ears. So it's important that both ears get the equal attention. If you're considering cochlear implants, it is important that your child gets cochlear implants in both your ears. God has given human beings two ears, and there is a reason. There are many reasons, in fact, but if I had to highlight just two for today, number one would be safety. Now imagine your child is crossing a street. Now on the street, there could be vehicles on the left as well as on the right. Now your child needs to be aware if a vehicle is moving from one particular direction. Now, if your child had cochlear implants in both ears, your child would be safer crossing a street. He or she would be able to localize where the sound is coming from. Another important aspect of having two ears is ease of listening. When you have two ears, and if the situation is noisy, your ears help you to focus better. Now, your child is not going to be at home throughout his life. He's going to go out on the streets, in the park, and in the school, where things can be noisy. Now, in such a situation, if your child had only one implant, your child will struggle to understand. But on the other hand, if your child had two cochlear implants, listening becomes so much easier. So keep that in mind. If your child has hearing loss in 2 years, you need to have two cochlear implants. Next, the letter E. E stands for early intervention. Now, if you want to get the best results for your child, you have to do this as soon as possible. Many parents ask, what age is the right age for implantation? There is no right age. The time is now. Now let's look at S. S stands for smart technology. Your child is going to rely on cochlear implants to hear. Now, you want the implant to be smart. The internal implant is designed for a lifetime. So when you're doing your research, you need to look at the reliability report. You need to ensure that the implant is reliable and it sustains the entire lifespan of your child. Same way, the external device, which we call as the sound processor, also needs to be smart. The situation in which your child would move around would not be the same. The house where he lives could be quiet, but as I mentioned, the streets or classrooms or park can be noisy. So you want a technology that adapts to these situations, scans for surrounding sounds, and adjusts so that your child can hear with ease. So smart technology is important to get good results. The final letter, that is T. T stands for therapy. If I had to use a rhyming word, T rhymes with key. Now, this is the key that's going to hold all of this together. Now, imagine a child who was having cochlear implants in both ears, had an early intervention, had the best technology, but failed to get therapy. The results are not going to be that great. Therapy is very crucial. As a parent or as a caregiver, you would be very stressed out when your child is diagnosed. The stress levels continue till your child is operated upon and a cochlear implant is switched on. But I have seen many parents doing a mistake. Moment the cochlear implant is switched on, they tend to relax. They think their work is done. But I would like to remind you that without the therapy, the work is not complete. And when I say therapy, it's just not the speech therapist's or the professional's role that's important. It's actually your role that's more important. Your child is going to spend a lot of time with you. Did you know a normal hearing child has to listen to 3,000 hours before he or she can say a first word? Now, we as professionals cannot give that 3,000 hours of listening in therapy session. So as a caregiver, it's your responsibility to act on the guidance given by the therapist so that your child can get the best results.